Hi, my name is Mike the Heal Your Gut Guy, and today we're going to talk about the overall strategy to heal your gut. The quick and easy way. And this is really the only way to do it, because if you try to do it the way everyone else is doing it right now, you're going to be stuck on boring, bland diets for the rest of your life, and you're going to have all these food intolerances, and you won't be able to enjoy a birthday cake on your birthday. You won't be able to go out with your friends and eat pizza. You won't be able to get ice cream or a coffee or a drink on a date. And what fun is that? It's no fun, let me tell you. So this is how to heal your gut the fast and easy way. It is very easy to heal your gut if you understand the root cause, and it is impossible to heal your gut if you do not understand the root cause. Now, if you watch some of my older videos, and listen to other natural holistic nutritionists or whatever that try to help you heal your gut, this is what they're going to focus on. They're going to focus on nutrition. And, you know, our body does need the proper nutrients to function, but how many of your friends and family eat nothing but garbage? You know they're nutrient deficient, and they have a perfectly healthy digestive system. And even after you've been on, a very clean diet, a nourishing diet for years and years and years, and you take every single supplement, you take your vitamin pills every day, blah, 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 you still suffer from digestive issues. So, nutrition isn't really the cause. And we can also argue people who eat unhealthier have a better digestion than people who eat healthy nowadays. Only healthy people have people who eat healthy nowadays have super messed up digestion. It's the truth. Go out in nature and look around. People who are obsessed about their diet are very unhealthy. They're lying to themselves if they think they are. And, I was part of that boat too. This missing link right here, which I'm about to share with you, German New Medicine. I'm about to share with you in a little bit. I'm going to get into more details. German New Medicine gives us the missing link to make it easy, super easy to heal your gut. We're going to go over it in just a little bit. A lot of people are going to blame their gut disease on toxins. Now, toxins aren't good for you, but your body is fully capable of handling them. Now, if toxins were a cause, most of my family members and most of my friends, they drink disgusting tap water that has all these chemicals in it. I have friends and family that smoke every day, they drink, they got toxins just flowing into their body, and they're totally fine. Whereas I did tons of detox protocols. Very clean. I avoided plastic for a very long time, and I saw zero results from that. It is not toxins causing, it sucks, don't get the stupid COVID vaccine and have mercury injected into you for no reason. But it is not going to, it doesn't have the power to cause all this mayhem in the gut. This is like a symphony. Even when we get all these nasty symptoms of diarrhea and constipation, it's a symphony throughout the whole body of different things going on. It's not the most beautiful symphony, but the intestinal muscles have to contract faster. The small intestine and the colon have to work together. There's so many things going on. A toxin doesn't have the intelligence to make that happen. I'm going to combine these two. We have disinfect and reculture. Now, there's a lot of emphasis on the gut microbiome. And again, most of my friends and family, they were formula fed. They didn't get the probiotics or colostrum from their mother when they were first born. They never eat a probiotic. They never eat probiotic foods. They never take probiotic supplements. They take antibiotics on a yearly basis, and their digestion is completely fine. Their gut microbiome is completely fine. And then I see people who, they eat probiotics every single day, they take disinfectants every single day, they get fecal matter transplants, and they still have a messed up gut microbiome. What is up with that? How is that mathematically possible? I'm about to show you right now. So, what this missing link is you have to turn off the significant biological special program that is running in your psyche and in your brain. This is ancient programming in all of us. So I know that doesn't make a lot of sense right now, and I'm about to explain that. I'll just call this, so this you got to this is the abbreviation for SBS. You need to turn it off. You can't really turn it off. You have to you're really closing it or deactivating it. It's always like running in the background. It's always there in the background, ready to serve you. And I know that strange language right there. So, all right, how do we explain this? So, most people's gut issues start around the time of a stressful event that caught them off guard. Soon after that stressful event, it's usually after you resolve this conflict, you will start to experience these symptoms. So right here, forgive my drawing, but just pretend this is William Wallace here from Braveheart stretched out. So we have a few different things in place. So we have the digestive organs. I have the stomach, the small intestine, and the colon, and the butthole. We have the brain, and then we have our psyche, like our thoughts. Like, it's kind of hard to describe, but like our psyche, like what we're thinking. And we have our brain. So when we experience this conflict shock, what happens is instantly on the psyche, we're going to start obsessing about that problem. We're going to maybe get cold hands, cold feet, higher heartbeat rate, and we're going to start obsessing about this problem because it's important to us. It's threatening our livelihood, and we need to resolve it as fast as possible to increase our chances of survival. So this stressful event happens to you, your psyche, your thoughts start racing on how to resolve this conflict, and even in the brain, we're going to see a ring-shaped formation, or what we call a Hammer focus in German New Medicine. We're going to see a ring-shaped formation manifest in the location of where this biological program is controlled based off of the colon. So the greater curvature of the colon and the small intestine and the colon, they all register in the brainstem. So if you were to do a CT scan of your brainstem, you're going to find a Hammer focus there if you're having stomach issues, small intestinal issues, colon issues. And then, but we have the proctal region, and we have if you have stomach ulcers or GERD, that's controlled in a different part of the brain. But we'll get more to that later. So yeah, guys, that's what happens. And now during the conflict active phase, the majority of the gut health tissues are going to respond with cell proliferation. They're giving you more, they're building more cells to help you digest this indigestible morsel in your life. It could be a physical food, but for humans, it's usually something in their life they cannot digest, they cannot get over. Now, if it's going to register in the small intestine, it's usually something you're angry about or you're frustrated about. If it's going to register in the colon, it's normally something that is has a more dirty or ugly connotation, like you feel betrayed, dark and dirty sort of a thing. And then the stomach is more of a general indigestible morsel. So, or the greater curvature of the stomach, because your sphincters and the small curvature of the stomach they're composed of two different types of tissues. So they behave differently when their special biological program gets turned on. So what happens is the stressful event hits you. You start obsessing about it. The Hammer focus develops in your brain. Your gut tissue starts cell proliferating to help you digest this indigestible morsel. And then when you resolve the conflict, you go into the healing phase. And in the healing phase, now all of a sudden, we don't need these extra gut cells anymore, so now it's cell removal. And this is when you get the diarrhea, the blood, the mucus, and you might test positive for an infection. This is when bacteria and fungi start to break down these extra gut cells. And usually what happens is, this happens and it takes a couple of weeks depending on how long and intense the conflict was. And then it goes away. And it's over. But what happens in the modern world today is we stumble on something called tracts. And these keep us in a hanging healing, which prolong the healing phase. It can prolong it indefinitely. So if you're someone who has lots of diarrhea and bloody mucus and stuff like that, then you are stuck in a hanging healing. You're stuck in a hanging healing because of tracts. Tracts are things, they're components of the conflict. They remind you of the conflict and it reactivates the symptoms. So let's say you suffered an indigestible morsel from your parents. Your parents yelled at you for getting a bad report card or something like that. And, finally one day you make up with your parents and you're on good terms again. The conflict gets resolved. Now, what are some tracts that could be associated with that situation? Maybe every time you see your parents. Maybe every time your parents judge you. Maybe every time you get a grade on every time you see a grade on a paper, or every time you feel judged. Maybe there was a pet in the room when that happened. Maybe you were touching a pet. So maybe the dander, maybe it was springtime, so the pollen could be a tract. Maybe there was certain music playing. It could be anything. But the big thing that gets people with these issues are extended tracts. So extended tracts get established when you encounter a tract. So you resolve the conflict, and let's say you get a graded paper, from your teacher, and that's a tract. And so you go to the bathroom and you crap your pants, and while you're sitting on the toilet, you're thinking about things that could have caused that diarrhea. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to blame food. You're going to go, well, I had some milk and I had some gluten. So you're sitting on the toilet, crapping your pants, and you go, well, I had some milk and I had some gluten today. That's probably what caused it. And boom. Now that you're afraid of those foods, you're blaming those foods, your psyche registers that, and now it says, okay, those are added to the track list, and we're going to crap our pants now. We're going to run the special biological program now every single time Mike decides to eat gluten and dairy. And that's how it works. And to deactivate these tracts, it's actually very simple. All you need to do is convince yourself that these things are safe. Every time you get a graded paper, you go, I know I got an F, but you know what? It's going to be okay. I'll do better next time, and, I'm probably never going to use physics in my whole entire life. Doesn't matter. And you could do, when your parents, when you experience gluten or dairy, you go, you know what? Jesus told me to eat gluten. God told me to eat gluten. I'm pretty sure Muhammad told me to do it too. And I used to eat it all my whole life. My family eats it. My friends eat it. Why can I tolerate this? Doesn't make any sense. Gluten is safe. I can tolerate gluten. It nourishes me, and it is delicious. And it's in just about every social situation in your whole entire life. So you could say the same thing for dairy. God and Jesus tell you to eat dairy all you want in the Bible as well. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about that much. I have other videos about how nutritious dairy is and stuff like that. But this is really how it goes. So I bet the question most of you are asking yourselves right now, like, oh, how do I resolve my conflict? Now, if you have like Crohn's or colitis or diverticulitis, ulcerative colitis or gastritis, you have already resolved your conflict. and you're stuck in the healing phase because of these tracks. So you need to identify them. I'm not kidding, guys. Like the second or moment you run into a track, you're going to like feel like the water rushing into your gut. Like you're going to have to go to the bathroom almost instantly. For me, feeling frustrated or overwhelmed was a track for me, and then I also had quite a bit of food tracks. And all I did was tell myself that these things are safe and they're okay. And there's different strategies to help convince your subconscious of that, but that's essentially all you need to do. Now, if you have constipation, stomach ulcers, or GERD, these are biological special programs that respond with cell loss. So if you're experiencing those symptoms, you need to find the conflict and resolve it. And so constipation, I said that a little bit wrong. So constipation is from the special biological special program of the intestinal muscles. It is trying to help you pass an indigestible morsel. It gets activated from an indigestible morsel that cannot pass or isn't moving forward. And so what your intestinal muscles do is they put more pressure behind the indigestible morsel and they expand the passage in front of it. Very logical for pushing something through your colon or through your intestines. So so it changes the pattern of the peristalsis for the intestinal muscles. If you have that, those are the conflict active phases things. But so it's very interesting for the stomach. So you think you get ulcers down here, right? Because that's where the stomach acid hangs out for the most part. You only get ulcers up here. And it's because they're made out of different tissues that respond differently to the conflict. And I'll get more into this when I talk about, this is kind of like advanced German new medicine. Most people don't care to know about, but it's all super interesting. It's all based in the science of embryology. And guys, truth is stranger than fiction when you follow the facts. I'm not talking about following statistics, because statistics, you can make anything up. But when you follow 100% facts and laws, the truth is stranger than fiction. And this is what Dr. Hammer came up with. If you want to learn more about German new medicine, I'll link a video in the cards. There's a video called The 5 Biological Laws that Caroline Marcolin did. She worked personally with Dr. Hammer, so I highly recommend that video. And it kind of gives you the basics of German new medicine. And all my newer videos are going to have German new medicine in mind. And my old videos, I wasn't aware of it then. So, but literally learning German new medicine took me from being stuck on boring bland diets, and literally within a week I was eating whatever I wanted and having perfectly formed stools. And I was someone suffering from Crohn's disease for a very long time. But that is what's wrong. You can do all of these things right. You can get your nutrition perfect. You could never touch plastic again and all that other BS. You can disinfect and reculture for years. But it does not matter if you have one of these significant biological special programs turned on, because you're just going to flush it all down the toilet. Or this is what's fueling the cell adaptation, changing the cells. It's not like it's when you look at what's happening, when you actually understand what's happening. Because what GI doctors are doing today, they're just lazy. They're just lazy, and they're just oh, it's broken. It's not broken. They're doing very specific things. If it was broken, random stuff would break. There wouldn't be any patterns. There are clearly defined patterns. And Dr. Hammer was kind enough to map them out for us. And it's for the majority of you, it's going to be identifying and neutralizing tracks, and then for the minority of you, it's going to be resolving your conflict and then getting through the healing stage. So, all right, that's all I got for this video. But if you want a fully laid out plan where I go over everything like step by step, tell you exactly what to do, how to resolve your conflict, how to identify and neutralize your tracks, what foods you should be eating to help, facilitate the healing of this tissue. Then I have my rapid gut healing program, and the link is down below. Click on that, and it is half off right now. Usually I charge $1,000, but now it is $497, and there's also a payment plan, and we have 100% refund guarantee. This also comes with coaching inside of a Facebook group. I have coaches who, myself is in there. I have a German New Medicine coach. I have people who've recovered from skin issues, histamine intolerance, people who are really good with herbs and food and nutrition. They've gone through gut issues themselves. They know what they're doing. They've healed themselves of autoimmune issues. I hate using that word because it doesn't even make any sense. The body would never attack itself, and there's debate on whether the immune system is real. Guys, that's how messed up modern science is. Like their terms are just stupid. They don't, like, when you operate off of lies and bad science, you end up with what we have today. A broken medical system. Even the holistic community has piss poor results. They're bad. But German New Medicine, guys, I know it seems a little strange and a little different, but truth is stranger than fiction when you follow the hard truth. When you follow the laws and you follow things that are 100% true, truth is stranger than fiction, but I have it all mapped out for you. I tell you, I really simplify it down for you in my Rapid Gut Healing program. So click on the link and go check it out, and I'll see you in there. And we do live Q&As in there as well. Guys, it's a risk. I just want to share with you everything that I wish someone would have told me when I was diagnosed with Crohn's. Heal myself. It took me 10 years to figure this stuff out. Took thousands of dollars. Boring, bland diets. Oh my God, I'm sick of eating meat and all that. I love meat, but just sick of being on carnivore diet and all that. Not know if I could eat this or that, not being able to enjoy a piece of cake on my birthday or enjoy pizza out with my friends. I want to show you how to live your life again, and the Rapid Gut Healing program will show you how to do that. That's all I got. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Any video suggestions? What did I not explain clearly enough? We can answer those questions down below. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.